Welcome to Inside Bremerton. This is the City of Bremerton's video newsletter focusing on issues and topics important to our citizens. We're in this fabulous hangar at our Bremerton Airport, and joining me is Fred Salisbury. Fred is the Director of Airport and Real Estate for the Port of Bremerton.
That's right.
And all this property belongs to the Port of Bremerton.
Correct.
Is that correct, Fred?
Yep, that is correct.
But what we're here to talk about is a fly-in that's going to happen on August 19th and 20th, and it is put on by the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association,
correct.
Otherwise known as AOPA. So if you hear us say that, that's what it means, Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association. And Fred is instrumental in getting the fly-in to come to Bremerton. What was the process to get it to happen here, Fred?
Let me give you some background first about AOPA, or Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association.
Perfect.
They were established back in 1939, I believe, and it's the world's largest general aviation pilot association that there is. There's close to 400,000 members worldwide, and they have primarily a focus on keeping pilots flying. That's what they're, they want to make sure that the right to fly is preserved. So they do a lot of different things. They're great advocates on the federal level, on the state level, and on the local level for aviation issues that might happen throughout the different states or at the nation at the FAA level with Congress and things like that. Mm-hmm. They're a great voice for the general aviation population. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They also provide a lot of services to their members. They have insurance, they have seminars, they have these fly-ins that people can come into. And they have a whole bunch of list of different services that you can get on their website and see. So that's basically what AOPA stands for. Now the process of how we got the air show or the fly-in here, one of our members, Jim Posner, who's the president of the Bremerton Pilot Association and president of the Washington Pilot Association, about 2 years ago he approached the commission with this idea of AOPA Fly-In and bringing that opportunity to Bremerton. So we did some research, and back in April of last year, AOPA publishes their request for proposal. So this goes out nationwide to all the airports that want to apply for the 2016 to 2018 time period. AOPA has about 4 of these in different strategic areas around the United States every year. And so for example, the last one last year was down at Salinas, California. This year it's here. And so
so they kind of distribute, there's an East Coast location, West Coast, probably South,
yep.
North, Midwest, yep. That kind of thing.
So this year they've had North Carolina, they'll have the Bremerton, they'll put one in Michigan, and there'll be one in Arizona to mm-hmm. round up the season. Mm-hmm. So our event is August 19th and 20th. So they sent out a request for proposal last year, about the April timeframe, and then they made their selection basically in June of what airports they wanted to come out and visit. AOPA came out, did a site visit, met with owners of the FBO, Pat Heseltine, the port, the city, the key players that are involved in mm-hmm. one of these fly-ins. Mm-hmm. And they took back their information, they made a final decision, and they selected us in October of last year. January of this year, we had a big kickoff meeting with everyone involved, the Chamber of Commerce's, the hotels. We brought in everyone so
Excellent.
They could see how big this event really was. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so we've been running ever since, trying to get this thing ready to go. Because our planning criteria for this was we had to be able to accept 500 aircraft, 900 vehicles, and between 25 to 2,700 people. That's what expected for that Friday, Saturday event. So,
mm-hmm. Wow. So, do we anticipate all the hotels being filled up, in especially Bremerton-Kitsap in our area?
I think so. There's, I haven't really tracked the numbers with them. I know that the latest numbers that I saw earlier this week is when the pre-registration, we're on track to be the largest AOPA fly-in on the West Coast that they've had so far. So we're really excited. One of the things that's kind of nice is we have an area set aside for people to come in and camp underneath their wing. So they can park their aircraft, put up their little tent, and they can camp overnight and enjoy the festivities here. So we were initially planning for 34 campers coming in because historically that's what they've had. Mm-hmm. And now the latest I saw on Monday was 77 that have registered to camp.
So wait a minute, let me repeat this. People fly in and then camp.
Yep. They come in and they camp.
Nice.
And you know, in addition to folks that come in, and we'll have rental cars and everything available here, and they
wow.
And one of the nice things that we have to do is we had to kind of put together some events for folks that are coming in Friday. So this event really kicks off Friday evening at about 6:30 with what they call a barnstormer. But before that, they have different excursions that they can go on. And they have basically 3 things that they can do while they're here on Friday. We've been able to, AOPA has been able to work with the Payne Field, the Boeing company, and get a special tour of their manufacturing facility. Now that's not normally open to the public. It's not open to the public at all. It's usually open for people who buy their aircraft.
Correct.
But they've been able to secure 100 people to come in, either fly or drive, and they register, and they're going to come in, they're going to get a special tour, they're going to have lunch up there. Great thing for them to do.
Perfect.
The other thing that we've been able to arrange here locally in Bremerton is the USS Stennis. We've got 100 people are going to be able to go down on the Stennis. She should be back in port by then.
Oh, I hope so.
I hope so. But they'll be able to tour the aircraft carrier and be able to see things and have lunch on board. And you know, what a great treat to be for something like that's uniquely Bremerton.
Exactly. And what could be more Northwest than Boeing and our Navy?
Celebrating the 100th anniversary of Boeing. So,
right. Oh, that's very cool.
Yep.
So did you have to get Boeing involved, or was that the AOPA did that?
AOPA really did a lot of the work through Payne Field and that organization
Excellent.
up there. Yep.
Excellent. So we anticipate people coming from all over the country.
You know, obviously these are placed in geographic areas, so we anticipate a lot of folks coming in from the Northwest as far as, you know, Oregon and Northern California, maybe mid-California, Washington, Idaho, probably as far away as Utah, Canada. We got a lot of our Canadian pilots are coming down to enjoy the activities.
Right.
So there'll be a lot of folks that come in and enjoy this. So.
And did you give us a number already, Fred, as to how many folks were registered to come in?
Well, right now we're seeing about a little over 290 folks that have actually registered, but we're 4 weeks out.
Yep.
But we've seen a steady uptick of that.
Right.
And based upon the projections that they're seeing, this could be really big for us. And so we're really kind of excited to be able to host, because what a great place to showcase the Northwest. It's a beautiful place. You know, that's why we're here, right? That's why we live here, because it's beautiful, and it's a great place to fly in a very supportive aviation community.
Exactly.
And that's what's really important.
Exactly. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to talk to Pat, who's also been very involved in getting this all organized and has probably participated in many of these kind of events. Fred, we wish you all the best, and we know it's going to be a really great event. Again, it is the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association Fly-In, August 19th and 20th. Of course, it's open to the public on Saturday.
Saturday also.
Saturday, come on out. You're going to get to see some beautiful planes, talk to some folks that are aircraft owners, and learn about their lifestyle.
They even have a tent with a flight simulator for the kids to come out and learn how to fly and
all
stuff like that.
All kinds of kids' activities. Great. We're going to learn more about it. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Bremerton. We are now with Pat Heseltine. Pat is the owner of, now let me get it right, Avian, Aeronautics, and Flight Center. It is the maintenance side. It is training, maintenance. Tell us what your business is about.
Yeah, Avian Aeronautics was established here at the Bremerton Airport in February of 1986, so this is our 30th year of being in business. Avian Aeronautics is aircraft maintenance. We work on aircraft as far as inspections. They're all required to have an annual inspection. We do major sheet metal repairs, complete piston engine overhauls. The company's well known for its engines throughout the region. And we also do parts sales and so forth. Avian Flight Center is the training and the support side of aircrafts with fuel services. We have a complete flight school where we teach people to how to fly airplanes, everything from the beginner all the way up to ATP, which is airline transport ratings. So those are that's the people that would fly you around in big jets and so forth. And and of course, obviously after they get their ratings and so forth, then there's a process of getting experience. And so on.
Do you actually rent? You have airplanes here that you rent to folks?
We do.
Can rent?
We have light aircrafts for rent. We've got a number of Cessnas, 152s, 172s. We've got, those are high wing airplanes. And then we have a Cherokee 140, which is a low wing aircraft. We have a multi-engine trainer too, which is a Piper aircraft.
So the folks that we've seen working on these planes, Pat, where do they get their training, these mechanics?
Well, they're A&P mechanics. They actually call them technicians today, to be politically correct.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's about a 2-year course. There's various different schools you can go to and get your FAA A&P certificates.
Local, like Clover Park or somewhere in Tacoma?
I actually went to Clover Park. A number of our mechanics are graduates from Clover Park.
Nice. Well, Pat, how long have you been a pilot?
Well, I started flight lessons when I was 15 years old, and
Cool.
I recall driving to the airport with my driving permit and my mother in the right-hand seat to go down and take my flight lessons.
Cool.
And my father had a real passion for aviation, so he started flying
Great.
when I was 14, and I started my flight lessons at 15. So I have to blame him for all this madness.
Yeah, this is very cool. So the integral part of your business to this fly-in is obviously the technical, mechanical support.
Yes, that's really my primary background. I've had over the years numerous different flying jobs and so forth. You know, I've flew float charters for many years. Got well over 2,000 hours of float flying, and that was a great job, taking people to Canada on their vacations, and
Fun.
just a fun job.
Yeah.
And
So what are you doing most recently? I heard you just came back from doing some support with fighting fires.
yeah, I just flew in yesterday from Colorado, so currently it's kind of my odd job of flying. It's air attack over forest fires. So it's essentially air attack is the Forest Service person that sits in the right-hand seat of the airplane, and he coordinates everything that's going on in that fire from that right-hand seat.
Wow.
And my job is to position him where he can see what's going on.
Nice. Well, let's get back to the fly-in and tell us your experience when you've gone to other fly-ins. What's the biggest memory you have?
Oh, fly-ins, well, you know, they're pretty broad across the country during the summer months, for sure. And we have a lot of fly-ins in the Northwest here, which may involve some aerobatic routines and so forth.
Fun.
And but they're exciting. It draws a lot of people. Must be an airport by here.
Wow, that was a big sound.
That was a Falcon jet that just took off.
One of your new tenants. Wow, that was a Falcon jet.
Yeah.
I wonder if they could drive me somewhere. I mean, fly me somewhere.
Oh,
You
sure
don't
they
drive. Great. Okay, we're back. So you've participated in many fly-ins. Is the sense of community with pilots, I sense it to be kind of like car owners, like gearhead guys. You know, everybody wants to talk about their plane, where they've been,
Oh yeah,
that kind of thing.
It's certainly a club, and people like to get together and go places, share where they've been, what they're doing. You know, and there's a lot of organizations that support that as well.
What will be your major function during the fly-in? Is your business going to be here for technician support, airplane? What will be your major function?
We will have some support in the event somebody has a mechanical problem. We will be supporting the aircraft with fuel services, and then this hangar here will be cleared out, and we're going to essentially turn this building over to AOPA, and I think they're going to have their breakfast in here. So anyways, it's in their hands.
Yeah, that you turn it over to them, they get to do with it what they want.
Yep.
That's awesome. So Pat, what's the benefit to our Bremerton-Kitsap community to have this fly-in here?
Well, there's a lot of people that have had a passion for aviation and so forth, and this brings it right to their doorstep. They can just simply come out here and take it in. And you know, whether they're actively involved with aviation or not, it's still something that can be shared with those folks. And as far as the community, I think it's going to bring a lot of people from the outside to see what this community has to offer. You got a wonderful airport here. You got an industrial park across the street. There's a lot of activities in the Northwest here, and I think it's going to be talked about pretty broadly amongst people. So
Great. The dates again for the AOPA Fly-In is August 19th and 20th. 20th is the big day. 20th is the day we want you to come out, bring your kids. There's going to be kids' activities. As a matter of fact, we saw a playground being constructed out here at the airport. Very cool feature. But it is a family activity. We want you to check it out. They do start coming in probably before the 19th, but the event is the August 19th and 20th. Please check it out. There's a website on your screen if you need more information. Pat, thanks so much for joining us. And we also want to thank Fred Salisbury for giving us the background on the fly-in. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you later.